Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions, and we've got another Hitman 2 video. This time we're in Mumbai and we're doing two challenges, Stand Still and Barbershop Duette. We're starting undercover in the Charles and we're going to just immediately go and fetch a lockpick. So we've got a few items on us already. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go and interact with the Kashmirian. There's that many nicknames in Mumbai, it can get easily mixed up. So we're going to adjust the sniper rifle. Simple reason for this, we're going to take out Dawood Rangan first. The two challenges we're going to do both involve Vanya Shah and the Maelstrom, so therefore Dawood's a bit of a loose end in this video, so this way we're just getting rid of him early on. I'd like to point out at this point that I did record this footage on my PS4, and as a result the footage can be a bit laggy. So if you just see time cuts, that may be an issue there. Also, if you see 47 looking like he's running with a limp, as I've mentioned in previous videos, there's something wrong with my controller, I believe, and I cannot afford to get a replacement just now. So, yeah, we'll sort that out as we go along. Anyway, we're moving on. We're inside Dawood's tower now, or at least the grounds to the tower, and what we're going to do is we're going to place a tube of paint by the painter so that the painter will cool Dawood down and paint him. I said paint a lot there, didn't I? Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot that camera from here. That will cause the woman there to go upstairs to investigate the noise. At this point, what we're going to do is sneak around and we're just going to knock her out because she is a pain in the backside. If you have done Mumbai and you've been in this tower, she is an enforcer to literally everything, to my thoughts. So if you haven't knocked her out already, you have got great patience, I tell you. Anyway, we're going to go up one floor and we're going to go and get the tube of paint. I think I was going to go in the elevator shaft then, because I was thinking, shall I just go straight up to Dawood? But I decided this was the more efficient way to go about it all. So, go through these rooms, go through this door, and the tube of paint's just here. So, retrace your steps and get back to the elevator shaft. You've only got to shimmy up one floor and then you'll be outside the artist's room. So it's pretty simple this. I mean, to be honest, I actually go all the way down. Oh, saying that, I was going to say I go all the way down, but I also delete the surveillance. So there's quite a few things going on there that the time cuts don't really show. But yeah, I don't really like shooting the surveillance there because, as you can see, the security guards are on alert now. But it's the most efficient place to do it because if you're going to try and do it in Vanya Shah's train yard, yes, you can do it, but the trouble is it's a teeny weeny bit out of the way compared to passing by here. So my preference is to shoot it there, but you know, if you're willing to wait to go to Vanya Shah's train yard, because we have got to go there, then it's your call. So as you can see, we're going to go into the room once this little conversation ends. The idea is the painter will look at the portrait of Dawood, then the guard will go stand behind him and say how long is it going to take, blah blah blah. And as soon as they both get into their next position, which is the painter on the left and the security guard sitting back down, we're going to just place the tube of paint on the easel. While I've been saying all that, I couldn't help but hear some motorcycle or some noisy instrument outside my window. So I might just pause the recording now just so that I can let it end. So at this point, I'm just waiting for go in this room. So yeah. As soon as them two have walked, you don't really have to wait longer than just to make sure he isn't turning around, the guy about to sit down. Once you've done that, walk over, place the tube of paint into the art display thing, the easel thing, and then basically just go out the way you came. So climb along here, go down the elevator shaft, and exit the way you came in. So pretty simple. It's probably the easiest way to kill Dawood Rangan. I mean, I saw this when I was doing some research, and it was something Mr. Freeze did for his first Silent Assassin suit only video. So it is very easy to do for Dawood. So if you are looking for a quick and easy way to kill him, I'd suggest that. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Vanya Shah. I had to remember which way we were going then. So with Vanya Shah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting her measurements as a tailor. Now this challenge confused me a little bit because one, I'd seen the tailor quite a number of times when I passed through Mumbai, and I couldn't help but think, okay, this looks like a fun challenge, yet once I got there I didn't know what to do. So it did confuse me a little, but once you're actually in the flow of the challenge it's quite good. There is a difficulty in it however, and I will explain once we get to it. what I would advise is bringing along a throw melee weapon for this point I'm going to mention. But just in the meantime, we're going up these stairs, which is the tailor's house, and we're going to lockpick this door. We're going to go inside and we're going to turn off this fuse box. I would advise turning it back on, but that is entirely up to you. There isn't too much difference if you turn it off after, or turn it back on, or whatever it is. Pick up these coins just to be useful. You can pick that little bit of documentation up as well. Again, it's not necessary, but it's useful. If you pick up the measuring tape now, it saves you grabbing it later in Vanya Shah's train carriage, but again, it's completely optional. I've got a hammer on me, so I've used that to knock this guy out, and we're going to dump him in the crate. Change disguise, and then we're going to go into Vanya Shah's train yard. Now, there is... Oh, hang on, saying that, I did jump a step there. We aren't going to go there just yet. We've got to get the correct cloth for her, because Vanya is quite a fussy so-and-so. And I'm going to complete a separate challenge whilst doing this, which is there are 3 cloth samples on the table. Red, blue, green, and they've all got different colours that I couldn't name. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to buy all 3. So I've got 3 coins that I've picked up inside the tailor's house, and I bought 6 coins with me. I bought 3 standard coins and I bought 3 ICA performance coins, I think they were. So if you haven't got the 3 performance ones, just don't do this challenge, because it means you'd have to go running around Mumbai trying to find 3 coins. Or, I've just thought it through, what you could actually do is complete the Maelstrom kill, but do some barbershop work as well. You'll see what I mean in a moment there. Anyway, just getting back on track, the idea is that if you just stand and stare at this guy, what he does is he lowers the price of the cloth. So we're going to be here a while. So Darwood's already died, so that's good as far as keeping the mission on track. But yeah, I picked up the blue one, which is the one that Vanya wants. But to complete the side challenge, the feat, we're going to buy the red and the green ones. And again, you have to go through the bartering that the game insists on. And I like it as a mechanic because, if anything, it's quite fun, the idea that 47's quite silent and menacing, that someone will go, oh, okay, I'll ask for 3 coins, not 4 or 5. You know, I think it's clever. You know, it does play to his strengths, but equally it's like, really? Couldn't we just, you know, offer 3? I'm going to say, if someone at 47 stature came up to me and said, can I buy this for this thing, I'd pay whatever he wanted, or sell it for whatever he wanted. So yeah, it's a bit of a long-winded challenge, this, but it's still fun just in the sense of completing it. So as you can see, I've got the red one, and I'm going for the green now. So the green is probably the easiest. Well, I don't know why I've just said that. I feel like I want it to be the easiest, but again, you've just got to go through it. I feel like you can make a cup of tea while I'm doing this bit, because there's not much else that I can actually say really, other than the idea is you just stand and stare and wait until he offers 3 coins, because at this point you can't take 4 or 5. So 3 is all you've actually got to offer. So yeah, it feels a bit awkward. You know, I would like to be able to say just there is a shortcut, but honestly, unless you're willing to pay the 5 coins and you've gone and found 2 in Mumbai, you can't really do much else here. So I'm just waiting for this scene to end. We're at 3. There we go. If you ever want a lesson on how to waste time, that was me doing it. Anyway, we're going to go to the train yard now. We're not going through the main entrance, we're going through the side entrance, purely because there's going to be guards at the front who will frisk you. And even though you don't need the gun that you've got in your inventory, it is much better to take it in and not be frisked. I'm sure you'll agree there. So what we're going to do is climb up here. Just climb up this one as well, and drop down. There is an enforcer there, but don't worry, he's only a standard enforcer, if you like, rather than your trespassing enforcer. So nothing to worry about there. I think I was tempting fate a little bit there, but hey-ho. So at this point, we're just going to go into Vanya Shah's audience room, I think they called it, or some title for the area. Don't worry about this, you won't get frisked. I did take it slow because I couldn't remember. You know, you always think to yourself, if you're going near what could be a frisk point, slow down a little bit. But yeah, nothing to worry about. At this point I was a bit miffed because Vanya's not here. You know, I'd wasted that much time with the tailor. I'd been hoping that by this point she'd have been there, but nope, apparently not. So we're just waiting for her to sit down, and then she'll invite the tailor slash 47 to come and speak to her. And once that happens, we're going to go into a train carriage to complete her measurements. Now, the interesting part about this challenge, again, is this woman in yellow, I think. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it's the woman in yellow again. I don't think it's the one who's usually in the carriage anyway. The point being, she's in there with you, with Vanya Shah, and this is essentially a fibre wire kill. So you have a choice about how to go about it, because unless you're willing to go in there beforehand and subdue the woman in yellow, you can't really... You've got to try and knock her out before she sees Vanya dead. It's not impossible by any stretch, but it's fiddly. And if you aren't good with fiddly, then I would advise going in beforehand and taking out this woman, because it's very close quarters. It's very close in general. And it's not a method I'm particularly fond of doing, but it worked. So the idea is she's going to say, taking my measurements, and as you can see, the woman in yellow is right there. And she's going to turn around periodically. You know, it's like she's looking ahead now, but in a moment she'll sort of tilt to the left or the right. As you can see, it's gone to the right. So if you decided to garrote Vanya Shah now, she would see you. So you've really got to time the kill well, so that she doesn't see you. I mean, as you can see, she's on the right now. So again, you just have to time it. It's like, say, you're going to the right, you know, you think, okay, can't do it now. She's going to the left, can't do it now. Yeah, so make sure you time it well. But as soon as you've garroted her, the best thing you can do, equip the throw melee weapon and knock her out. It is so tense doing that, because as well as that, what got me is I wasn't sure if the woman outside the room would hear the hammer. Combine that with me jumping into the closet or the box or whatever, and yeah, this created a tense moment, adding to the fact that this woman in yellow had a final riposte for me and decided she didn't want to be dragged. Then this became a very frustrating kill. So hopefully you have an easier time of it than I did. Anyway, we're going on to the maelstrom now. You can get a little bit of a cheat sheet for this by going to the crow's hideout, and you can then identify the maelstrom. Then all you got to do is do the steps I'm doing. However, again, I've mentioned that I've watched Mr. Freeze's videos, and I did actually look how you do this one, purely because I've done quite a lot of them in the game now, and this was just one that I thought, alright, I'm just curious, how do you do this? So this is where I do like to do videos that are not necessarily walkthroughs, but playthroughs. I don't want people to be saying to me, well, hang on, you've just copied this guy's route, because first of all, I'd argue this challenge can only be done one way anyway. But besides that, I like the idea of grouping challenges together and seeing what can make a good route. So if anyone's got any problems about that, you know, you do feel free to let me know, because I'd rather us have a discussion about it than you know, just leave a thumbs down in anger. But equally, it's a case of, you know, this is what I saw, and you know, it's quite a fun challenge, and I actually realised via that video how you actually spot the maelstrom without actually identifying him, so it's quite cool. What got me here is, and you're going to see this for about 30 seconds to a minute, is that I was lost. I am not very good in Mumbai, I'll admit. Mumbai is not my favourite map. I mean, it's not the worst in a way, but it might not be high up. I'll give people a sneak preview for my Hitman 2 rankings, but as you can see, there was a skip in the footage there, but yeah, this just isn't great. I mean, I'm looking at that enforcer and thinking, where's he going to turn? I ended up in an alleyway for about a minute, purely because I didn't know which way to go. So I'm sure there is an easier way to do this. I mean, I blend in this crowd here, and I'm just hoping that the guy doesn't walk through the crowd, because if he does, he spots me. Unfortunately, he doesn't. But I got a bit lost trying to find the barber, I will admit that. You know, it's not well signposted, shall I call it. It could be easier to spot. Maybe someone who's played Mumbai a lot will say, of course it's here, how do you not know it was there? But yeah, I haven't really been through the markets that much, I'll admit, so I've only really been on the outskirts, so I think this is just where I do need to play Mumbai a lot more. But I'll get there, you know, the more you play it, the more you know. So again, I'm chuckling to myself because I'm actually curious how long this is going to take. But yeah, I'm wandering around, and I'm not exactly sure what more I can add at this point, because the fact of the matter is, I've ended up back on myself because I'm ending up back where that enforcer was. So, yeah, this is just not good. At least from a viewership point of view, and I recognise that. I mean, I'm at the shoe shop, and I think this is what happened. I ended up walking through the shoe shop just to try and find a different area to go through. And I think I stumbled upon it, so let me just have a look. Did I? Did I? I think I did. I think I did. Yep, there we go. So the idea is you go up them steps, through the shoe shop, up the stairs, and you end up on this rooftop where you can see the barber and his wife having a chit-chat. Whew. I really wasn't convinced when I was going to get there, and I've played it. So, as you can see, they're having a chit-chat. I've got the hammer out. She's going to walk off momentarily. As soon as she walks off, well, not as soon as, but as soon as she's a distance away from the barber, you can hop down and knock him out, and then you can knock her out. I would advise knocking the pair of them out for the simple reason that, one, she's blocking the exit to get out of the barbershop, but also it's just a case of, you know, tidying up, isn't it? So, this conversation seems to be dragging. I don't seem to remember it being a long one when I played it, but hey-ho, these things happen. So, as you can see, she's actually going to be even more annoying now because, as I remember, she stands there for what feels like an eternity to add on to the conversation. You know, not only have you had to wait this long, but you've now also got to wait while she's standing there looking at him. So, yeah, bugger off. Oh, come on. So, we're going to drop down, we're going to knock him out. This is going to be quite a satisfying KO. There we go. We're going to hide him in the closet. I don't know if I took his disguise now or away. Let's have a look. Change disguise now. It doesn't matter whichever way, it's just a matter of convenience. We're going to throw the hammer at her just so that she doesn't bother us when we go downstairs. Footage skip there again, no surprise. We're going to drop the body in the crate. And I believe upstairs there's a key for the shutters for the barbershop, so we're just going to pick them up. Where did it drop though? I think it'd be on the right hand side. There we go. So pick that up. Go downstairs and open up the barbershop. And at this point what you've got to do is simply identify the maelstrom. It sounds complicated, but there is actually a very easy way to identify him. And it's the fact that he's got a scarred face. So we're going to serve customers, supposedly. And what we're going to do is just have a look at all their faces. And if you see one with a clean face, deny them a shave. You know, and I know we're looking at the guy on the right there, he's got a beard bigger than I could dream of growing. And yeah, we're going to deny him a shave. You know, it's a case of, you're not the maelstrom, get rid. And we're just going to keep doing this because they'll keep turning up. By the time the maelstrom actually turns up, I'm sure there's 4 or 5 possible maelstroms there. So we are actually just going to keep denying them just to get them out of the way. And eventually when the guy does turn up, you can just offer him a shave and, you know, it's pretty simple. In fact, you get an audio cue at that point because once you are completing the shave, he starts talking a little bit cryptically. So you can infer that it's the maelstrom, you know, just for the fact that he decided to have a very strange conversation. So as you can see, compare those two. They look very similar, but this guy here looks scarred by comparison. So we're going to offer this third guy in blue, well, the third guy, the second one, the one on the left in blue, the shave. So deny him. And I'm just trying to see when I press it, because I think I denied them all. There we go, we're going to offer this one. There we go. I was actually wondering what I was doing then, because to be honest, you could just offer this one the shave. So, yeah, in you go. So, at this point, it's pretty simple. You're sheltered from view, so no one will see you complete the kill. All you have to do is start the shave. As soon as the prompt pops up, kill him. So, nothing too complicated. Make sure you pick up the barbershop knife, otherwise you're not going to get far with this. As soon as it gives you the prompt, start shaving. Now, I did actually go into this a little bit, like I said, because even though I'd seen that he was scarred, because the maelstrom does change, it plants a seed of doubt in your mind. And it's only when he started talking very cryptically, like I said, you know, it sort of sounded like a Bond villain how he was talking, like, you will, my friend, you have an important task ahead of you and all this. You're thinking, okay, you sound like a bad guy, I'm going to take a chance it's you. It would have been fun if this hadn't worked, but yeah, as soon as you sort of had that sort of dialogue, just take the kill prompt and done, dead. So that's Barbershop Duette. I thought I could lower the shutters at this point, but I couldn't. And I also recognised that if I tried to drag the body, someone outside would see me. So it's just safe enough to leave him there. Just don't dawdle exiting, because I wouldn't advise it. And I'm saying that, yet I am 90% certain that what happens next is that I take my time exiting. I'm really not familiar with Mumbai. I need to have a good playthrough of it, because people have been saying Mumbai's my favourite map, oh, I'm loving it. And I'm like, okay, there's some interesting quirks about it, but equally I always seem to get lost. Not to mention the maelstrom I've found is a pain in the backside to kill, so I haven't enjoyed it that much, and I'm willing to give it a chance, but at the moment it's not going to win out in the rankings, but we'll soon see how it does go. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it, because if anything, even if it wasn't the walkthrough you may have wanted as a playthrough, I've enjoyed watching it just for the fact that I've just realised again that I'm not a great Hitman player, I just enjoy the game. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. I aim to get 5 likes on as many videos as possible, so if you can be one of the 5, I would appreciate you being one of them. Equally, if you could subscribe to the channel, I'm slowly gaining subscribers, you know, nothing radical, but the more I get, the stronger my channel gets, so every subscriber I can get is very much appreciated, so thank you very much. Just as a quick side note, because 47 and myself are taking time to exit this level, if you do subscribe, I would advise you to try and look in your YouTube settings. Just see if your settings are set so that your subscriber status is public. Because if you do that, when I do a live stream, you'll be able to see a name on the channel or on the screen. So it's a small little quirk, but it does mean that you'll have your name in lights, so to speak, for the first couple of streams while you're subscribed. So just keep that in mind, because I've done it for a few subscribes and it looks really great when you can say, right, you're subscribed, here you go. So yeah, if you want that, by all means, just have a quick look in your settings and you might have your name up in lights. And that's about all I can do as far as filling in the time, so what I will do now is end my little recording, and 47 will exit the level. So thank you very much for watching, hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.